the big breaking news that we are getting, an international breaking news. The world's largest aircraft carrier has been ordered to sail from the Caribbean Sea to the Middle East. Now, a person familiar with the plans said as US President Donald Trump considers whether to take possible military action against Iran. So this is a very, very big development when it comes to Iran-US relations, because already there is a heavy naval deployment when it comes to Iran from the US side, and now the largest aircraft carrier is heading towards Iran. Now, what does it mean for Iran? Is war imminent? As everybody is asking, is America going to attack Iran? That's the biggest question, because the world's largest aircraft carrier has been ordered to sail from the Caribbean to the Middle East. Now, this comes from a person familiar with the plans as US President Donald Trump considers whether to take possible military action against Iran. The move by the USS Gerald R, first reported by a media outlet, will put two carriers and their accompanying warships in the region as Trump increases pressure on Iran to make a deal over its nuclear program. So this is a tactic by Donald Trump, pressuring Iran for a nuclear program deal. Now, the person spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss military movements. Now, the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier strike group and 3 guided missile destroyers arrived in the Middle East more than 2 weeks ago. The USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier and 3 guided missile destroyers arrived in the Middle East more than 2 weeks ago. Now, it marks a quick turnaround for the USS Ford, which Trump sent from the Mediterranean Sea to the Caribbean last October, as the administration built up a huge military presence in the lead-up to the surprise raid last month that captured then Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And this is a very big development, big breaking news. This is coming in terms of Iran. So there is a threat of an imminent attack. There can be a possible strike on Iran. So this is Donald Trump pressurizing Iran, asking Iran to do what America is telling it to do. And person spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss military movements. All right, Major Samapal Toor is joining us live to discuss more on this issue. Mr. Toor, what exactly does this mean for Iran? Is it just pressurizing? Can we just understand it as a pressure politics from the side of Donald Trump, or a threat is imminent when it comes to an attack on Iran? Because Donald Trump has already done it in context to Venezuela capturing Maduro, sir.
I think it's almost been more than a month now that, we all were expecting the attacks from the mid of January onwards, and it's almost mid-Feb. And as far as the mobilization of the American troops are concerned, that has been conducted. As far as the equipping of the air defense THAAD missiles, and as far as David Sling is concerned, they are also being deployed. In fact, David Sling for the first time has been deployed on mobile ships. So that is there. And then, they've vacated most of the troops from the known military bases and shifted them to private hotels in the same countries where the military bases are located. So the criticality is that in case Americans do opt to go to war and they do conduct an attack onto the Iranians, right now, as I foresee during day, it is a probing tactic. Probing tactic, I mean to say that they're actually testing the Iranians, that at to what threshold will they hold themselves, and at what time will the threshold break and will they come into attack the Americans. So, and then moreover, you see, this is an era of supersonic and hypersonic missile systems. So as far as the attrition is concerned, the vulnerability of the aircraft carriers are concerned of the United States, it's very much real, and there are chances that yes, Iran's main target is Abraham Lincoln, USS Abraham Lincoln. So, but if you compare what happened in Pearl Harbor in World War II, majority of the fighting fleets of the American Navy were destroyed in Pearl Harbor, where they did not even fire back once. and the Japanese had them for the whole day, destroying their navy. Still, the Americans hit back. So, America is definitely got a very large navy. It has got three naval aircraft carriers with
Yes.
approximately 3,000 to 4,000 personnel per carrier. These are nuclear powered. They run for n number of months together. And so you see, threat is real. Now, the only testing thing is that it is just a matter of time. And I think that let us not be surprised. There will be news coming in that satellite systems have been disabled. They've been electromagnetic pulse weapons and directed energy weapons have been used in space to take out the satellites, to disrupt the coordination of the drone systems and the communication systems of
Yes,
the
very true.
Iranians. So a lot is at stake. But I think this is the beginning of the end of the Khomeini era, and I certainly have a very strong gut feeling that
But Major
yes,
Tour, the
they are
Khamenei
moving
regime,
in
sir,
to probe the
I
Iranians.
would just like to ask one more question on this. The Khamenei regime has survived the protest. Now, the earlier comments that came from Donald Trump, he said that keep on protesting, help is coming, help is on the way. So he has already sent one aircraft carrier. Now he's sending another aircraft carrier, such a heavy built-up. And if such a heavy built-up is there, it doesn't mean there will just be an airstrike and you can come out. And also, Iran is not an easy enemy. When you compare it to Maduro's regime, to Venezuela or some other country, Iran will also respond. They have very high technology, drone technology is there with them. They have missiles. They know how to have a war. They have been in war with Israel also. They have fired a lot of missiles, and it was a headache even for America during that time. So America also understands engaging in a long time with Iran will not be in favor of American regime also, sir.
I certainly feel that Americans itself are not in favor of going to war with the Iranians. It is just that the amount of pressure being built up by Israel and by Prime Minister Netanyahu, in fact, his recent visit to meet President Trump, as it is depicts that yes, there is a lot of pressure on the United States, and moreover, you see, if by any chance, there, I am telling you 100% that Iran is going to use dirty bombs. The 400 kg of enriched uranium, which has been used up to 60%, is what the negotiations first priority is, to hand over that 400 kg of enriched uranium, which has reached a grade of almost 60% and above. So that's almost, you are at a weapons grade uranium enrichment. So I certainly feel that yes, if they don't act, Israel's existence will be in peril, and if they act, it will be at a very large price. And moreover, you see,
All right.
Iran's weapon systems are, based on the Russian weapon systems, on the Chinese weapon systems, on the North Korean weapon systems. So the rocket technology, the propellants that they've been using, the stealth technology that they've been using, given by the Chinese, is definitely something which over the years has refined, has upgraded, and is almost at
Definitely.
par with what the Americans are going to use. So it's just a matter of time, but yes, attrition will be on all sides, and Israel will be the main country which will be facing the wrath in case if Americans choose to go
And
to war with
and
them.
in all cases, Israel needs the protection when it comes from America in all the cases. But also, Iran has heavily invested in missile technology, drone technology. So it is going to be a tough battle if the war begins. Thanks a lot, Mr. Major Samapal Tool, for your insight on this story. All right, let's move on and get you all the top national stories now in Bharat in 1 minute.